Welcome back to another episode of Q&A with Sharon's son, George. I was my mother's caregiver after she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Sadly, she passed on 1/1/2020, so we started Together for Sharon.com in her memory and advocate today for a cure for all those still battling PD and their families because no one is ever alone in this fight for a cure. This incredible human being, in my opinion, that is on with us today really doesn't need an introduction, but she means so much to me and so many, not just in Northern Nevada, but around the world. And when I thought about having Mindy on the show, I was so excited because it's like I always say, if we could just reach one person, I might be in Florida, but one person in her area or in Florida or anywhere in the United States that is not aware of the incredible things that she is doing. We need that to be known. And just an honor, doctor, to have you with us today. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. What a strong introduction.
Thanks.
Thank
I
you.
always, we're really honest here, and in case anyone sees, unfortunately, I still have black and blues for who knows what they did to me during my shoulder surgery. But as I swear to all my Parkinson's family out there, that nothing will ever stop me or the doctor from advocating. And I just feel together we really can reach more people who aren't aware, and also those who might be. So again, we send our love, and I just want to try to start off. If you could tell us, a little bit about your background and how you became involved with Parkinson's awareness.
Absolutely. I am trained as a family physician, and I have a master's in public health. And I practiced family medicine for quite a few years. I stopped when I needed to do more with my own kids, and then went back and worked at the Bureau of Disability, looking at disability claims and helping the Social Security disability assess who needed disability insurance and who did not. During that time, I had multiple family members become diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, as well as friends with young onset, older onset, etc. So my sister-in-law has young onset symptoms since her late 30s. My father has Parkinson's, and I am his care partner at this point. And my mother-in-law passed with Parkinson's. My aunt has Parkinson's. It's in my family. The owner of the gym that I go to has Parkinson's. It's everywhere. And the more I looked around, the more I realized, none of these people lived here in Northern Nevada at the time. Well, the gym owner did, but none of my family did. My father has since moved here. But I looked around to say, what is available as support services for people with Parkinson's? As a family physician, I know, the physician's important, yes, but there's so much more. There's all the therapists, there's all the support groups, just the sense of community so people know they're not alone. And there really wasn't much in Northern Nevada. COVID hit, and then there was even less. So with COVID, I was able to pull together a group of like-minded, very caring local people who have connection to Parkinson's, and we formed a board, and we formed our 501(c)(3), and we started off with just a website because that was all we could do during COVID. And we had a website with information about local resources, regional and national, really emphasizing the local because there was no other way to know what was here. We did some focus groups with people with Parkinson's and some local therapists and said, what would you like when COVID lifts? What would you like to have seen when you were first diagnosed? What would you like to see in the community? And yes, support groups were one, but really overwhelming. The interest was for more education for the general public and for themselves, as well as someone they could just call when they had questions. So that is what we've developed. And it's just been 3.5 years since we all got together and started the Parkinson's Support Center of Northern Nevada. And we have support groups that we call PD community groups because they're not led by psychologists or social workers. They're not professionally organized in that way. They're peer led. So they're really a place for people to come together, share their trials, their successes, their jokes, the humor that you can share when you have like experiences, and some educational components. And then we have what's called a mentor program. And we partnered with the Parkinson Association of San Diego for that because they had started right before COVID a very robust training program for their volunteer mentors. And we're excited that we have 7 mentors, volunteers at this point, and we've got 3 more in training. And these are people that have Parkinson's themselves, are caring for someone with Parkinson's, or a professional experienced with Parkinson's who have gone through this training, so they know all the medical legal stuff that you need. And they are volunteering their time to be kind of that big brother, big sister. So when somebody gets newly diagnosed and they contact us and say, hey, we would like to have a mentor, they get paired with somebody that maybe has common interests or lives in the same neighborhood, or whatever factor seems to be most important to that person newly diagnosed or their care partner. And then there's somebody they can now call, get a cup of coffee with, say, hey, this is what we're going through. Have you ever done that? What resources do you have available? And that's a really popular program. And we have one of our board members who has Parkinson's is our volunteer coordinator for that. And she is fabulous. So we're really proud of that program.
Well,
We have education programming. I'm sorry.
no, first I want to send our love and support to you and your whole family. We know I do firsthand what it's like to go through the struggle, and I'm curious what your thoughts on, how individuals might be diagnosed, due to Parkinson's. I think it's more environment. My mother had a really nice home and kept it up, but for 20 years had mold and had termites, and as you probably are aware, in 10, 15 years ago, who knows what they sprayed. And it's frightening that even some of those things like paraquat still even exists in the United States when it's banned everywhere but the US and Australia, I believe. So just curious on your thoughts on that. And while you're answering, I'm actually going to share some beautiful resources that you were amazing enough to share with me, and we interviewed before. So if everybody can visit togetherforsharon.com, completely free, click interviews, you can see a lot more in depth with the doctor and about her background and the training. And then after, if you could respond about the environment, I wanted to really dive deep into the site since you already kind of covered some incredible areas.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you showing the website. We're proud of that. Of course, everybody, you have to revamp your website every once in a while, and so we're in the middle of doing that. It's just going to be even better and more clear as to how to find the different resources that people want. But in terms of causation and why Parkinson's is just the fastest growing neurodegenerative disease in the world, I do think there's a lot of environmental factors. I know in my family that my side of the family has one of the most common genes, the LRRK2 gene, and my husband's side of the family has the other, the GBA. So we know we have a higher risk and a higher likelihood if we're given those exposures too. What exposures? Yes, paraquat I think is huge. And we're in northern Nevada, but we see people who come from Central Valley, California, which is known by some as Parkinson's Alley, because of that paraquat, which is still being used in California, but as you said, banned in China and just most of the rest of the world. It's just kind of amazing. And then we also have a very large veteran population here too. And our veterans have a much higher risk for Parkinson's between toxic exposures, that being Agent Orange, TCE, head injuries, and it can just be a reverb. It doesn't have to be a direct hit to the head. There's just so many things that we're not all exactly clear as to what causes the Parkinson's that we're just seeing exponentially increase these days, but it is scary and it is concerning, and we want to make sure that our food and water are clean and safe as we go forward.
Thank you. And one thing I also enjoy that you do is you team up, I believe, a lot with other organizations, like you just mentioned, San Diego. even Drive Toward a Cure. I believe you've worked with them, and and I love Deb. Shout out to Deb. And
Yes.
I think again, even us speaking today, is the goal is really working everyone together for one common goal and purpose, which is not just awareness, but to really end Parkinson's. I do want to encourage again everyone listening, please share this show. But the most important thing is to support the amazing doctor and go to pscnn.org. I'll share that too. I subscribe. It's very simple. You just click newsletter. So there's no excuses. I always say everyone takes 1 second and there's no charge. But some of the incredible, and I love it's beautiful, the website, but it explains some of the upcoming events, and hopefully someday we'll zoom in live and share it because I love these shows are amazing because we get to talk, but showing the event actually tomorrow morning. It sounds funny that I'll be in Hawaii for the Hawaii Parkinson's Association, and it's just amazing because I'm still in Florida. So just kind of gives people a shot at what it's like. And then my dream someday, I mean, I hope we cure Parkinson's and get rid of it, but I would like to travel, the country and go to everyone's events live. It just, I have my own medical, unfortunately, issues, but maybe you can touch a little bit about some of the events that are coming up.
Yeah, and if you wanna scroll back up to that one that we just had, that one there, we have what we call our education series, and we're thrilled. We just got a very generous grant from a local foundation that's going to help us make these more regular. We're hoping to have them monthly and have them in a hybrid format so that people can come in person if that is comfortable, if they're having a good day, if they have transportation interest. But they could also live stream, so that we'll be able to reach our more homebound people with transportation issues, mobility issues, as we know, inherent in Parkinson's, or out in our rural areas. Nevada has a large rural population, and we really would like to reach that rural population. Now, that being said, our live stream will be available to anybody around the world. So if it is a topic of interest, hopefully if they get our newsletter, as you generously suggested, they will learn about these events as they're coming up and can then zoom in and learn from our local experts. And the next one is by the Nevada Center for Excellence in Disabilities, and they're going to be talking about all the different adaptive tools and techniques that can be used to help people with Parkinson's continue to move and engage.
I really was, in a way, I'm honest but jealous at this event that you, because I love Deb, but to be there with you and everyone, and we've had been honored to actually speak with Mrs. Ali and also James Brown's daughter, the doctor, who's been on our show too. So it's just incredible to see not just regular people like me, but incredible advocates like yourself and celebrities, because obviously we're all in this together, but they do have some important reach, like Vanessa Williams, and just again, we were invited to get there. Unfortunately, it's tough some days, but it's just beautiful to see everyone really working together. And this is one event that actually also shared throughout the United States for awareness. So thanks for also. I was excited when I saw your logo on that because I think it's beautiful that everyone teams up together. So again, everyone, please go to PSCNN.org, and you can learn more about Parkinson's. You can learn more about the doctor, and you can see here the mission and goal. We all have similar one, but the events you're holding and the things you're doing are amazing. And the most important thing is please donate and support the doctor and the organization. It's very, very important. And also, I love that you also, and this is the Facebook page, which I'm, as you can see, liked. And so Facebook, where else we can reach you at Instagram, which I'm a follower. And I really like these areas because you can get and I already love them. So they already are before I wanted to do it because it's important that we can be updated. And this is some of the most important things in here. You can see Deb, if she's listening, we send our love to you and all that you do. But any other areas too, because I do want to not miss anything. There's so much on the site that's so important. Any other areas? I mean, here you can cover nutrition, which I think I need too. And it's not really just for the people with Parkinson's, it's also for the caregivers And also here you can donate, and other events that are coming up. But I don't know if you had any other areas that you wanted to touch on the website, or did we cover mostly everything?
I mean, there's so much there for, and it's mostly for our local community to be able to find all the physical therapists who might have the LSVT training or the power training, the specific Parkinson's training, and the speech therapists and the occupational therapists. We have music therapists in Reno who have special interest in Parkinson's disease, and that is a really powerful resource. So we have lots of resources there, and we're learning about more and more to help with transportation, respite care for care partners, things like that. So it's a live website where we are continuously updating and making sure that we have the newest, latest, and greatest of what's available here. And as you said, I think it's so important that no one organization, reinvents the wheel, that we partner, which is why we're happy to have partnered with the Parkinson Association of San Diego. I don't know if you've spoken with them before. That's a fabulous group. I recommend talking to Jeff Seckendorf. He's just really a powerhouse down there. And they have a great program that we're just happy to be the first satellite for the mentor program from them. And we love partnering with Deb with Drive Toward a Cure. It's just phenomenal relationship. We've partnered with the local Alzheimer's Association on a Care Partner event last year, bringing in a really great speaker to talk about living well, maintaining a loving relationship to the end. And we partner with anybody we can partner with because why not, right? Strength in numbers, and there's power in working together.
Yeah, we have a lot in common. I believe that, again, we all have the one real reason to do this, and that's to find a cure. And I think that if we reach more people, it'll be closer to our doorsteps around the world. So I appreciate your support and that all you do. Wanted to now shift a little to some other areas, which is more about you. And I always say if we had a drum roll, I would do it, but it was too complicated. So we just go with it. But can you list 3 words that describe who you are?
3 words. Educated, caring, and experienced.
Thank you. And this one sometimes is tougher because there could be so many responses, but is there one moment or most memorable moment that stands out through most of your work with awareness that you can share with us?
Awareness and advocacy. I've been working with the Michael J. Fox Foundation lobbyists and got both our Nevada state senators to sign on to the National Plan to End Parkinson's Act fairly early on, which was great, and worked tirelessly. The Nevada legislature meets only every other year for 4 months. It's an unusual state. And the last legislative session, we were able to get introduced and passed unanimously through the Assembly, Senate, and signed by our governor for a statewide research registry for all neurodegenerative disorders. So Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, MS, ALS, et cetera. And we were so successful and the language is so strong that the Michael J. Fox Foundation even invited me to be part of some of their forums on discussing how to expand research registries throughout the country, which, as you said, that's how we get to a cure. We have to have good data on who has it, the regions that are having it more, maybe by zip code, area code, whatever, however we can finely tune that so that we see what causes are there, as we talked about, the toxic exposures. What is that and where are they predominantly? And until we know that, we can't have a prevention and identify things for cures. So we really need to start with that research registry to really know how many people and where they are and who they are and what other factors are there. So I'm really, really proud of that work.
I appreciate all you do. I'm curious. You won't be able to tell me yet, but maybe we can keep in touch, of course. But I'm curious to see the progression of the national plan because it was passed, but I've been trying to find out the status, and as well as I and everyone listening in politics and the law. My background, I'm an attorney, but things go very slow, and I just hope that even though it's passed, something very good comes from it. And right now, just kind of waiting if you're drooling, waiting to hear. I haven't seen much yet at all from it. So now with the new transfer of all the, people in politics, we'll see how it goes. But I do hope that now that it's passed, since I was still shocked that that's the first, federal law in our history, which is kind of shocking in a sad way, but positive because now it is law. But everyone still reach out to your local representatives 24/7 if you can. This needs to be implemented because that's really what's going to change the world for so many diagnosed and their caregivers. So thank you again for your work with that. This is a tough area. What you do is inspiring and incredible. But it's not always easy, I imagine. I was wondering who helps you during times of struggle. Also, second part to that, I was a caregiver like you are too. What tips can you give those listening who might be caregivers?
The first part, who supports me, my family is amazing, and our group, our core group, our board members, our volunteers, everybody pitches in and shares whatever, as they say, time, talent, and treasure, whatever is they have to help keep things going and keep things strong. We're all volunteers, so it takes the village, right?
Mhm.
And as tips and tricks, I say join a forum, talk to other people, share your experiences. I love the Davis Finney Care Partner Group. I'm sure you've talked to them. They have just, I mean, all the organizations have something, but I find theirs particularly helpful, bringing in experts, talking about ways to get respite care, ways to have additional help, and just be willing to ask. There are a lot of people who I know want to help and they don't know how. And that's true with anybody with any disease. I'm sure you find with your orthopedic issues, if you ask, people are like, yeah, I'll help you. I'll pick that up for you from the store. I'll, you know, bring you a dinner when you're post anesthesia, whatever it is. People just want to know what they can do to help and to be able to clearly say, I need a break. I need to go to the gym. I need to go for a walk. I need to just sit outside in the quiet, whatever it is. Just being willing to ask, I think, is so important.
Thanks. And also, again, I'll say it 100 times, always send our love and support to everyone behind the scenes, because obviously I believe you're the face of the organization in that area in Nevada, but so many people behind the scenes help support you, and I'm grateful that they do. And we also send virtual hugs since I can't give you a real one, but very, very important. I like to bring the people out from the behind the scenes, not, physically, but at least thank them too. So thank you for that. Is there anything you might have done differently looking back the past 10 years?
Past 10 years. Oh my. Started this organization earlier when I was younger. It'd be even easier. Other than that, no, I'm really happy with how things are going. And I mean, I wish more had been done for Parkinson's and for exposures and ways to prevent it. And so we wouldn't have to find a cure in a way. If it didn't exist, we wouldn't have to cure it, right? So it'd be really nice to look back 50 years ago. What were we using on our food that we shouldn't have been using? And that's sort of where I look.
It did tough because you are affecting, unfortunately, I lost my mother and she was my world, my best friend. And I actually do a lot of these shows because I'm still grieving, and speaking to you inspires me and really keeps me going. Some days it's tough. I might have I showed you, I might have a sling or I might
Yeah.
be back stuff and things, but I don't cancel and I don't stop because even though we always say we need to take care of ourselves, I feel that if we even reach one person today, we've changed their world, and that's what my purpose is now in my mother's memory. But, so my mother was my world, but she was, the main person. What is it like to be affected by so many in your family, not just one person, but multiple people?
It just makes me more aware of, if I have so many, I mean, I went and spoke to a group of young business owners yesterday. It's called the Compassionate Business Network, a new organization here. And they were mostly young business owners, 30 of them. I asked who here has been affected by Parkinson's, who either has it, family member with it, friend, loved one, coworker. More than half the people raised their hands. So our tagline for our organization is no one has to face Parkinson's disease alone. And I think that's the essence of it for me is no one should have to be home alone. No one should have to be thinking they're the only one. It's so common. You're part of a big community that all cares and is all working to find that cure and to find the best treatments in the meantime.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, you're almost, I wish I heard those words when I was going through it because I wasn't aware of anything out there and I felt alone as a caregiver. My mother never even met someone who had Parkinson's. And I always kind of say, if I had voice called you or just some of the incredible people who now I consider family, I think it would have changed the world for all of us. So I'm still, grateful for all you do. Who is your hero and inspiration?
Who is my hero and inspiration? There's so many different areas. I actually think Michael J. Fox is phenomenal, but of course, I think his wife is equally phenomenal. Together, they, as a partnership, really are a model of how to rise above the disease and make the most of what they can. It's together, I think it's really the key. And I think there are plenty of people I've spoken with and that we help who are living all by themselves with Parkinson's without a family member, loved one, friend, care partner. That is really tough. Uh, but the people who can together, I mean, Davis Finney and his wife, I mean, there's so many partnerships like that that rise above the disease is the way I think of it. And they are just stronger and more visible and more powerful by working together despite the disease.
I
Or
agree.
maybe because that, it's bonding and it gives you a common goal and something to work towards.
And the support is so important. Even doing these shows, meet some incredible people, and then we, put them out in the world. And I've had emails and thank you everyone for supporting the show and listening, and they do appreciate it and they learn so much, which really kind of hits me in the heart, which for a positive way, not for. And this one is a fun one. If you were asked to write a script to a movie about your life story, what would you call it, and who would play your role?
Ah, oh gosh,
Incredible.
that's a tough one. I don't know. Who would yeah, what would I call it?
Has to have Nevada.
This
Some.
about the circuitous route.
I don't know if I could spell that. But what about what about who would play you as your role? Your role.
Oh gosh. I mean, I would love it to be someone like Goldie Hawn.
I
She
love it.
she would be powerful.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, we just had it's coming to holiday time. We just had the Kurt Russell when he played Santa Claus movie on it.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. And also, I might have to have a show about the holiday and hit some of the, tougher times. And I think having your group and all that you do out there in the community, I imagine is incredible, even more so during the holidays, because that's, when we need even more support. So thank you again for that. And on a final question or note, and again, I don't believe this conversation should end today, and I'll say after, but it has to continue till we find a cure for Parkinson's to everybody's doorstep. But if you could leave the Parkinson's community today with some words of encouragement, what would they be?
I think it's really back to that tagline we have that no one has to face Parkinson's disease alone because programs like yours that really reach so many people in so many corners of the world just shows that you're not alone, that this is not something you have to just sit at home and not move. There are options, there are opportunities, there are people to connect with, there are programs that can help, and there are people who care.
Well, I really appreciate your time and your friendship and all you do. It's really just such an honor. I was really excited to have this opportunity And I wanted to thank you again, and please encourage everyone listening to not only share this, but go to PSCNN.org, the Parkinson's Support Center of Northern Nevada, and support the doctor, whether donation, attending an event, or just sharing the Instagram, Facebook, or any of the incredible YouTube videos, which I'm going to also add and share right after we wrap up. But the things that you do, again, inspire me. I'm glad I was able to finally tell you, not just email you, but it's really just my tough days. I look for somebody special. And when I see all the work you do, kind of jump up out of anesthesia even and
Oh
keep
no.
fighting and keep sharing your work and keep saying we can't stop, but not just about saying it, we're actually, doing it together. And that really means the world, because I really feel that 99.9% of the world does work together. Unfortunately, we have some reasons, some don't, but I don't understand why we don't all want to work together. None of us want money. We want to cure. We want to fundraise to support researchers and science and doctors and offer those incredible programs that you do. And again, it's just such an honor and pleasure to be able to work together and to have spoken today. So thank you again, Doctor.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. It's been wonderful, and yes, we need to do it again.
I appreciate it. And I have a little message for you and everyone listening. We love you. We support you. We care a lot about you, and you're never alone. I, along with the doctor, will advocate for you, and together I feel our voices are so much stronger. And I always end with I'm just getting started, because even though I'm not, which is odd, every time I see somebody like you out there fighting and hear your journey and your incredible story, or, you know, tougher days for all of us going through the struggle, or my loss of my mother, we have to keep fighting, and we never forget those we've lost due to Parkinson. They live on through us and everyone we meet. And my mother would really love you and love everyone listening. And again, just don't give up. You're not alone. And we're going to keep fighting together by one another's side until the cure is at everyone's doorstep around the world, too. So thank you again, Doctor. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This has been another episode of Q&A with Sharon's son, George. Please stay tuned. We have so much more to come. And as you know, hopefully by now, if you don't, I'll remind you, I will never stop fighting until there's a cure for Parkinson's. Thanks, everyone. I love you, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you.